the common man. The darkness seeks to pull you down, push your light into the ground. What's wrong is right, what's right is wrong. You know the truth, so keep it strong until the final battle comes. Brother, we're the only ones. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Ties to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season.
A man being transported through time by God. An angel appears telling him, put on a nearby suit. And after that he must travel south. The suit on he is endowed with incredible powers. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. Another man wanting in his life. Canadian shield saves him in the nick of time. Now he lets the man know reasons to live. With this the man goes on to live many more days. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. A villain appears and threatens many. Canadian shield rush to the scene. A battle ensues and blows are traded. The Canadian shield wins and many are saved. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need.
The Canadian Shield 3 coming your way on Fund My Comic on July 5th, 2025 at noon Eastern Standard Time. Be there! Oh yeah! Canadian Shield rocks!
The cardinal, the balance of the universe of justice. The blessed versus all the cursed. The cardinal, the very best against the worst. And all his faces, the time has come, the bubbles burst. Darkness dies, angels cry. The cardinal fight. The call has been received. Darkness dies. Don't buy the lies. The morning always comes like the rising of the sun. The balance of the universe. The blessed versus all the cursed. The very best against the worst. The time has come, the bubbles burst. Darkness dies. Oh, Stomp the fuck it down. Under the ring, mature with a zing, mature with a zing, violent with a sting. It is Eladio. I am comic. Item, tick, comic, kick, under the ring. It is Eladio. Eladio. Anatomic, comic. Eladio.
With the sense of honor, snapping out of sight each genre, making waves in comic books. And you know that's just a hook. Yellow skin like grains of gold. No one else is getting old. When they cross his fiery path, evil somehow never lasts. Opera Melvin has all the moves. Opera Wood Melvin should. Opera Wood Melvin's in the groove. Opera Melvin in a book, so you don't have to be.
And pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Matthew 24:20. Pray for your flight to not coincide with winter or the Sabbath. Matthew 24:20. The Sabbath, a day of rest in winter. A season of harsh weather would make their flight more difficult and perilous.
Here time, jumping, Native American, super suited, superhero, with a heart for Jesus. Canadian shield, he's a rock in the field of grass. Canadian shield, he's a foot for the kick in the asteroids are falling, the shield will get him all. Asteroids are falling, the shield will get him all. Tis of thee, it's the badass of the galaxy. He's nothing special, so they say, till the tiger gets his day. Square dance and denim pants, Melvin is the rodeo. Last chance on the crazy bull, Melvin is the rodeo. A country punk with too much spunk, a city slick with a gigantic kick. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Melvin is the rodeo.
We meet again, Martin. I will destroy thee this time. I will have at thee come if you dare. Yes, you are defeated. Not again.
Under what the fuck it down? Under the ring, mature with a zing, mature with a zing, violent with a sting. It is LDO. My atomic comic, item, tick, comic, kick, under the ring. It is LDO. Got no pickup or puppy dog, just got my weapons and fatigues on. I got a crazy look and an amazing book, but don't scramble my eggs, Country Melvin. Don't shave my damn legs, Country Melvin. Don't get in the way, a Country Melvin. A pew pew and punch two, pew pew and punch two.
Yeah. Yeah. Wah. Evil lurks throughout the land. It's eating at the common man. The darkness seeks to pull you down, push your ass into the ground. What's wrong is right, what's right is wrong. You know the truth, so keep it strong. When the motherfucking battle comes, our battles must be fought as one. Titans rise, seize the fight, taking down the wicked with the power of might. Justice is back in season. Captain or a leader of the team, Thunder Fist, the secret in the shadows. Vulcan speedier than any bullet. Moonstar, the mind is deeper than the well. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. What's right is wrong. You know the truth, so keep it strong. When the motherfucking battle comes, our battles must be fought as one. Titans rise, seize the fight,
We are the world, and we are jealous. Canadian shield should be in our nations, killing all the evil trees. Stop the evil trees. Canadian shield, the envy of the world. We've got oak and maple and evergreens. Canada ain't the only one. We need shielding in our lands. We'll pay you handsomely, killing all the trees, all the evil, evil trees. Canadian shield, the envy of the world. Canadian shield, the envy of the world. A trio came and they bestowed power to a man unknown. Sent him out into the land, power coursing through his hands. Evil lies at every door, gnashing teeth you can't ignore. Trials of the sinner's life, living life under the knife. Evil seeks to bring us down, and the devil doesn't fool around. But the cardinal, he fights to save the day. No matter the fight, fighting for right, firing the might, blood-drenched tide. The cardinal of justice come out. Stop! What he didn't do, he didn't why, he took it to shoot when he wanted the fountain. And then it came to be, the cardinal was lost to all. But the cry of the weakest makes him the strongest. God be with him, God be with the cardinal. The cardinal, he fights to save the day. No matter the fight, he always musters the might. The cardinal of justice is here. The cardinal, he fights to save the day. No matter the fight, he always musters the might. The cardinal of justice is here. God be with him. God be with the cardinal. The cardinal. The God be with the cardinal. won't the fuck it down. Under the ring, mature with a zing, mature with a zing, violent with a sting. It is LDO. I am comic. Item, tick, comic, kick, under the ring. It is LDO. And atomic, comic. LDO.
So who is coming to fund my comics on July 5th, 2025? It's the one, the only, the courageous Canadian Shield landing on Fund My Comic on Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Be there! Yeah!
Evil lurks throughout the land. It's eating at the common man. The darkness seeks to pull you down. Push your light into the ground. What's wrong is right, what's right is wrong. You know the truth, so keep it strong until the final battle comes. Brother, we're the only ones. Titans rise to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Ties to crush the demons. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season. Titans rise, crush the wicked. Justice is back in season.
A man being transported through time by God. An angel appears telling him put on a nearby suit. And after that he must travel south. The suit on he is endowed with incredible powers. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. Another man wanting to end his life. Canadian shield saves him in the nick of time. Now he lets the man know reasons to live. With this the man goes on to live many more days. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need. A villain appears and threatens many. Canadian shield rush to the scene. A battle ensues and blows are traded. The Canadian shield wins and many are saved. Canadian shield with the power of strength. Canadian shield with the power of speed. Canadian shield with the power of flight. Canadian shield with many more powers. Will fight the evil that comes his way and help those he can in need.
The Canadian Shield 3 coming your way on Fund My Comic on July 5th, 2025 at noon Eastern Standard Time. Be there! Oh yeah! Canadian Shield rocks!
Hungry country, 'tis of thee. galaxy. He's nothing special, so they say, till the tiger gets his day. Square dance and denim pants, Melvin is the rodeo. Last chance on the crazy bull, Melvin is the rodeo. A country punk with too much spunk, a city slick with the gigantic kick. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. What was he doing in which fight scene, Tim? I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention. I am waiting for Diana to join, and of course, I haven't sent her the invite yet. So let me do that. Actually, I got to send Tim the invite too. I haven't sent nobody the invite. I was a little busy. I have been working on the book, but I had an inspiration for Rodeo Melvin. And yeah, I had to put it out there. So that took me about 20 minutes because people laugh, but I don't put a lot into that. You know, those quick little videos, they really are computer assisted. I don't deny it. And I have a little fun with it. And yeah, so what's a guy supposed to do, right? Hang on, Tim, I'm gonna share the link with you via Twitter Messenger. Or X Messenger, if you want to join. You don't have to, no pressure, except I did just promote your book because I love Melvin. The biggest kick in space. Did you get that? That's a nice little tagline. And it has a little joke in the theme song. I like doing stuff like that. Diana, did you get the message? Let's see. She did get it. Hello, Miss Diana. You are muted, but it's good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm here finally.
Did you vote?
Huh?
In the YouTube page, there's a poll.
Okay, let me check.
But you have to be on the YouTube chat.
I'm going
You
right
can
there
vote
now.
for either Country Melvin or Rodeo Melvin.
Oh, I don't think I've seen Rodeo Melvin.
Oh God, you want me to play it? Or
Hold
should I
on,
wait?
hold on.
I can
Wait,
play
let
it.
me just get in there. Okay, but hold on. Let me just get into the chat. Say
Okay.
hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Oh yeah, listen to her type, guys. It's like she's home again.
Oh, that's right.
I love it.
gotta-
It's the bestest.
No, it's not. Okay.
Okay, I
All right.
think it's this one. Hang on. If it's gonna blare at first, but I'll turn it right down and pause it. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, why isn't it? Oh, it only did it to me.
Hmm.
That was nice.
Okay.
All right, but there it is. So I can play it whenever you're ready. I
I'm
played
ready.
it like twice or three times in the opening because I really wanted to get a good, shot at it.
Mhm.
Get people's opinions because I thought it was fun. I think you'll like it. It's quite pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Hungry country, 'tis of thee. It's the badass of the galaxy. He's nothing special, so they say, till the tiger gets his day. Square dance and denim pants, Melvin is the rodeo. Last chance on the crazy bull, Melvin is the rodeo. A country punk with too much spunk, a city slick with a gigantic kick. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space.
That's gonna fade out. That's even got a little tagline in there, the biggest kick in space. It sounds like a commercial.
I'm like,
Good evening,
hilarious.
Rodeo Melvin. Welcome to the hangout, man.
It's like she couldn't just take her eyes off his kick.
Yeah.
wow.
I'm glad you caught that because I love putting those zingers in. I did the same thing with that Canadian Shield one when I said he's a kick in the, and then I went asteroids are falling. I love those kind of word plays, and that
I know you do.
there was a lot of that like in my childhood. I remember hearing songs that had a lot of cool word, but I can't think of any now. But in my head, when I write silly lyrics, I think they should almost get offensive, and then you change it just a hair so people go, "Oh, that wasn't as funny as I was hoping." God,
I'm laughing at Tim's comment. I was reading the chat. But actually, I voted for it because I thought it was really cool. And the rodeo, I cracked up because I saw those things. What are they? The cars or whatever you call them. They must have a special name to them.
Well, I don't know.
The Melvin Mobiles.
Yeah, the
Melvin Mobiles.
I think Rick ran that through an AI program.
He must have. Yeah.
I think they did that with Bidu.
It's so funny.
He and I both have been playing with Bidu. Was that the first time you caught a CGBS episode, Tim?
A CGB. I've caught several.
Oh, cool! I didn't know if you had seen it before. I think it's a cool.
Oh no. What do you mean by CGBS?
I don't know what
Christian Glory Bible Shorts.
Oh, Christian, yeah.
Oh no, I actually haven't.
Yeah. I started using them in last week's opening. They were in this week's too, but they're just little Bible shorts on one verse, and it's. I called it Christian Glory Bible Shorts, but it's such a long thing that I figured I'd just shorten it down to initials. CGBS.
Yeah.
Have you seen those AI Bible shorts that they have?
Not yet. No. Should I?
The one with Jesus on the on the cross, and he's looking at the camera. Hey, it's your boy Jesus. I told him God or BRB.
Oh, geez, I'd probably be so offended, and I shouldn't be because Jesus would probably laugh at it. But I don't know. Oh,
I mean, it's serious, but at the same time, it's clever.
Well, here's the thing, okay, and this might get me in trouble with some Christians, but at one time, I hung out with a Christian pastor who was just utterly insane, and he was part of a church that actively translated the Book of Mark into hippie terminology. The whole thing was like, "Yo, bro, what's hanging? Do you feel the vibe for the?" You know what I mean? Like it was all written in hippie style.
It sounds like they're trying too hard.
Well, they literally were printing up copies of this and handing it out to these gypsies that were still talking in that kind of vernacular. And they were trying, it was just the Book of Mark. They didn't do the whole Bible. I don't know if I said that. But they were trying to reach them. And somehow it was creating a connection with some of them, you know. But that's because the gospel, no matter how you say it, if you're truly preaching it, people will hear it. The ones who need to hear it, at least, you know, God has a way of tuning his children's ears.
That's true.
It is true. I mean, like people say, well, how can you read that Bible? Or how did you come to Christ reading that Bible? Because if you belong to God, it's going to resonate, even if it's a screwed up translation. You're going to hear the names and go, holy Lord, thank you. Okay, the comic show is turning into church. Let's change the topic.
I'm like, I don't even know what happened. But okay. That's good.
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm glad Tim's here. I wish Rick was here. I don't know why I like you guys here so much. It's like security blankets and stuff. But I like hanging out with you guys. Like I was thinking today. So Diana doesn't follow CG at all, but like they've had another creator fallout with them. And it's one I don't particularly care for personally, but still, nevertheless, it's like watching a slow fire burn. And you know, there are people in the house, and they have like weeks and weeks and months to get out of there before it gets to their side of the ship. They're just, oh gosh, you know, it's like It's just not a good scene. I don't know. And I try not to judge. I try not to pay any attention to it. But if you're an X and you have anything to do with independent comics, you got to block just about everybody, or you're going to see some of that stuff, you know? Like I have a friend named Tim who always posts about it.
Well, it's everywhere. It's like,
I'm teasing you, brother, but I know what you're saying. And sometimes when I'm trying to get out of it, though, Tim will say something clever, and I'm like, oh, now I have to answer. I have to say something.
Come here.
yeah. It's kind of funny to sit back and just kind of watch it burn a little.
I do know what you mean. You put a comment out there and you're like, all right, is anybody going to like it?
Well, I mean,
oh, crap, Mr. Brady just liked it. That means all the war campaign is going to see it. But actually, I don't. You know what? I don't have a problem with war campaign like most people. Not because I approve of everything they've done in their history, but because sometimes
justifiable now.
Well, some of the guys in it now, or if they're in it, if there's a war campaign now, but some of the guys being affiliated with it, I don't have major problems with. You know what I'm talking about? It's like
no.
Testify I had issues with, even though everybody knows that I wish I could have reconciled with the guy before he passed. But I was upset with him, no doubt about it. And he was before he was kicked out of war campaign for being too retarded. Remember he said that?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, how can you be too retarded for war campaign?
He's like the crazy old guy that they sealed up in the mine shaft. But we're thinking we should have listened to him.
And you know what's weird is I struggle understanding that, but yet when we dealt with him, it was weird because I liked him, but I couldn't understand the stands he was taking, and he loved to be cryptic, you know. I'm warning you, man. You'll see. I'll see what? Tell me what you're trying to say. But
I think we're seeing it now.
Well, the thing is, it was funny. He was actually barking about one of the evil ones that shall not be mentioned, who really much liked PDF files.
You
know, PDFs. Yeah. So that's why I'm not mentioning it. But he was like warning on that guy, and I'm like, I'm not down with that guy either, bro. You know, he's like, yeah, you need to watch yourself. So he did say some weird stuff, some true stuff that nobody believed at the time. And a lot of drama, a lot of it. But that time he messed with that autistic girl, I got really upset.
Yeah, that was not.
I got too emotional. I shouldn't have gotten that involved because it didn't affect me at all. But I can't help it. If you kick a kid, if you kick someone with autism, one of my peeps.
It did affect you, but it didn't affect your personal life. You know, it affected your life.
If I had just kept my nose out of it, I wouldn't have gotten all bombastic.
True. That's true. But it's okay that you did. It's all right.
The thing is, and I guess that comes down to comics, and Tim and I have kind of touched on it in X, but it's like, why are you making your comics? You know, are you doing it because you love it? You know, where's your heart in this? Why are you years late if you truly love comics and your reader?
Well, I mean, they went after that John's that long box guy.
Box, yeah.
Well,
actually have the first issue of his new series.
Yeah, it's like, what did he say that wasn't true? You know.
Well, and that's the problem, because they have no problem trashing someone who's talking trash about them, but when it's truth, they really get bent out of shape.
Yeah,
you know, like if it's someone like Eric July says something, they're like, oh, he's just saying that because he's mad at us because we're racist. But when it's someone like John Lombox, who's generally liked throughout the industry as far as the our circle goes, and you know, he, like Tim said, he didn't say anything that wasn't true.
Well, I mean, I've also pointed out that if it's not a cult, then you should be able to leave quietly without it, you know. But every time somebody leaves, they
and I guess Rick Embry, he kind of got a little bit of a raw deal because they revealed, you know, private messages, and I got upset about something that they revealed, not realizing that it had been sent in a DM. But Katie did share the information that he left CG because of his wife being upset about it. Happy wife, happy life. I understand, but you don't broadcast that publicly. And that
He was
when I
trying to.
first heard
He was
it,
trying to you should say, "Hey, this is a situation. I can't." And they took it and read it live for everyone to know.
yeah, yeah, and I'm like, okay, so for one thing, that's really scummy on their part. But on the other thing, I'm like, oh God, that just totally ruined what Rick was doing because it kind of undermines him. I'm like, it sounds like you're saying your wife's the only reason you're leaving CG, and I'm like, that's not the win you think it is, brother. Because oh man, I know people don't understand because they don't follow it, but new CG, NUCG, as it's called all over the internet, is truly it's got some crazy things going on.
It was never that bad. Like what 4 years ago, but now it's just
Well,
it's
the
worse.
thing is, indie comics in general has always had a seedy side. There's always been the little dark pervy corner in every little comic book world. Not necessarily in each publisher, as you know, but like there's always I forget what they call it. Um, there's a term for it. It's like burlesque, but it's about comics. But there's always
Right.
like these cheese, stupid over sexualized things. They're not outright porn usually, but like the Betty Boop styles. The
Betty
obviously is. Do
Boop.
you remember her? She was like a big
Yeah,
breasted.
I know. I know.
Yeah, but that was like in World War One and two times. So it was different, but it wasn't because guys would still look at it and go, "Ha ha, she's cute." You know,
Well,
life was different back then. They didn't have iPhones.
no, I don't think that's. I don't really think that's the issue. Is the behavior of these creators? They're
Well, I
they
really
say, well, if you don't like CG,
the villains.
leave. Okay, they say if you don't like Comicsgate, then you leave, and then they leave, and then they say, well, how dare you leave? You could make more money with us.
Well, and I hate the way it all starts coming apart. It's not our fault that you didn't get what you wanted, and you think it's up to us, and
You're
it's our
just
responsibility.
jealous of our success, that kind of thing.
And I'm tired of hearing that because I know Tim knows, I know Rick knows, and I know, and Diana certainly knows because she has to manage my mishaps in business.
Hmm.
But we know how to publish books on $20. If we can get $20, we can get you a copy of
Yeah,
our.
right.
It's not that hard. And I keep trying to explain this to people. Set up an on-demand file, and you can order one at a time. You don't have to
Yeah.
buy. If you know you can sell 500, 1,000,
Mm-hmm.
10,000, 100,000, fine.
Get over
But if
here.
you're looking at it and you're brand new,
Give it to me.
Oh,
you don't. I'm giving it to you,
Sorry.
love. I'll be right out
Listen,
there.
I'm so sorry. Wait.
Whatever it is, let
Chewy,
me get out there and I'll get it for you.
Chewy wants to play. I'm muting myself.
Oh, you see what I have to live with here.
I know.
But like, whatever you have to do to get your book out, the easiest thing you can do is know how much it's going to cost to print because when you buy from Amazon, you know exactly what you're buying it for.
Yeah.
And then you set your price, and you got to think about shipping, you got to think about packaging.
Well, that's what RJ's for.
But if you're doing it solo, which you did before RJ.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I do.
But
There's only so much I could order at a time, and then I'd have to. Yeah.
Well, like if you figure it out, you'll go, okay, definitely need $7.29 to get this book packaged and mailed out my back door. Then you're looking at it, okay, so let's round it up to 10, say no shipping charge because I included it in the price. So if I get $10 a book, I clear $3 each book, which sounds like a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing, but it's really not. It doesn't, because then you got to figure, at least in my case, it's hundreds of hours of work at first world rates or third world rates. And in your case, it's having to pay someone to draw the art for you, which is a costly endeavor in itself, which, if I'm not mistaken, you do that on the personal and then make it up in your sales later.
Yeah. When I was crowdfunding, I'd do it by tier. I'd start with the first one and find out how many people back that, and then I'd go through all that first, and then I'd have it kind of mapped out in sections.
Do you mean like how you'd order your production?
Or which one I would send out first, and then
Right.
yeah,
See, with us,
digital tiers would go out like immediately.
yeah. With us though, it was always good because Diana was very supportive, but none of us, and I don't think anybody should. We didn't want to drop, 5-6 figures into a dream and go, oh wow, we printed like 10,000 of issue 1 and we
Yeah.
only sold 100.
Financially for us, that's just the better route. It's not necessarily the cheapest, but it serves our purpose for where
Cheap
we're
in what
at.
way? So usually the cost difference for what we actually would purchase if we were getting bulk, we would probably get somewhere around 1,000, which might save us 2, 3, 4%.
Yeah.
Versus the security of knowing, okay, if I buy 1,000, I have to actually store 950 until I sell them off, unless I have 1,000 backers, which is really good. And if I have 1,000 backers, guess what? I'm probably looking at someone like Critical Blast to help fulfill, and then I'll start signing a contract with somebody to do that,
Right.
But like, I could never take on having someone like RJ when my sales are, I think we closed out at 25 or so around with Darkness Dies.
Mhm.
And this is not whining. But if you were to break down how long it took and how much we brought in and then do the
Well,
profit.
it doesn't pay anything. We don't profit nothing.
Well,
We make no profit at all.
We did make a minor profit, but if you stretch it out over the time, I literally got paid tenths of a penny per hour. And I'm not counting Diana's time. Well,
Right.
I don't know. I can't fracture a penny that much. They're not even making them anymore. It's like what
No, but
percentile?
the point is, it's like we are doing this because Chris loves to make comics, and I love my husband, and I want to support him. So,
And for older people out there, it is much cheaper than cruises or buying a couple of Harleys. Now, if you like riding, that's fine. But like my thing, and Diana disagrees with me in this by and large, but we spend so much money on the junk that's in our house, the TVs, the computers, the radios, the speaker, all the stuff in general that Americans buy. And then we go camping with no electricity. And we're out there with these wind up things that are supposed to charge our phones and little solar panels, maybe if you're spoiled. But typically you're looking for one plug in the middle of the woods that some trailer's plugged into. And you're like, can I get just a charge for my phone? You don't know. Maybe the bear hasn't peed on the plug. Maybe he has. You don't know.
right.
Maybe you're going to get attacked by killer skunks. Did you hear about that night, Tim?
No.
I got cornered in a car by killer skunks. They separated me from my wife, who was in the safety of a fabric tent.
Oh my
And I
God.
was in a metal Jeep with these
Listen to him. Killing
these
me.
skunks. What did I do? I texted her and said, "Don't come out. There's killer skunks."
Yeah.
Were they talking to each other like raptors in the Jurassic Park movie?
Yeah, that's exactly what was going on. I'm like, oh my God.
No, they didn't do that.
Can't.
They were tapping like a skunk Morse code. They were scratching on the ground as they got closer to the headlights.
You're killing me.
It was incredibly terrifying. And like I just
one was giving hand signals, and they had like it was like a coordinated effort. They started like getting up tools and start like taking apart the car piece by piece.
Well, they don't really have the claws for that, but I know they were looking for a raccoon to help them, because a raccoon can grab stuff, but the coons didn't want any part of me because I was in a Jeep. They don't like those handles high up. They wanted me to be in like maybe a Toyota Sentra.
Somebody clipped that.
I would have been doomed.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
So I haven't checked the polls. We've had about 6 viewers all night, up and down.
Yeah.
Oh, Rodeo Melvin's down to 75. That means somebody voted. Let's see. 25% for Country Melvin. Nobody has asked about the punk one. That one needs reworking. And truly, Tim, you know what you need? You need a good video.
What?
We should get you a good video together, throw in some actual like web location at the end, sell the book, like I'm just sitting here making fun of it, just having a good time, and you're like, You're like, just not helping me here, bro. I don't even. Come on, man.
What do you want me to do, man? I'm just trying to get a book done. I would have to say though, Melvin number 4 is actually 100% out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Not one
I
bit of that
believe
book
it.
is not one bit of that book has been crowdfunded.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Our books, we crowdfund the end product.
Oh
So
yeah.
when I put the campaign up, it's so that like I can afford to send somebody a print on demand graphic novel. But I get what you're saying. Like, it's just a different approach. The thing crowdfunding is such an abused term one way or the other. Either you're paying me to make a book and you're hoping you're going to get one at the end, and you're paying me to develop it. If you're going at it that way, then I understand why Ethan Van Skyber. Okay, I'm just going to spit it out since I spit that much out. I understand why he'll take years and expect people to continually back it because he believes that in his mind, perhaps. But when I put a book out there, I can't imagine looking at you, Tim, and going, Tim, I'm starting a 24-page book, and I want you to back
years in development.
Just back it 3 times a year, man. If you and 1,000 people do that, I can just coast through while I make it, and then at the end, we'll see. Maybe you'll get a book. No.
Yeah. Well, it's like John Lombach said. He tried to sell to his buddies at work, and they go, "Okay, you're expecting us to pay for a book and then wait 5 months? You're like, get the F out of here." You know.
Here's the thing.
Normal people don't dig the idea about crowdfunding.
Well, they don't understand it, and frankly, I don't think I truly understand it because my idea was always, okay, I'm doing this on the tail end of making the book so I can sell the first copies.
Right.
Like after this, I'm hoping that we go to conventions and people will pick it up and go, oh, how much for this? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I kind of thought you guys were doing it like an event, like it's like a pre-order event thing, and then you guys go into the real, going to conventions and selling it.
Well, and it's also like an excuse to do things on X, on Facebook, in shows. If you're doing that, we never do it anymore. I don't know why. Maybe I need to take a class or get hypnotized or something. But it's not. I'm terrible at it. Even my own show, I don't promote myself. You know what I get, Tim? I get a lot of people saying you shouldn't promote your friends. I'm sorry, dude. I've heard that from like pros and stuff, and I'm like, then I guess I'm not cut out for promotion because we've done this once a week for years. I'm sitting here battling my head off with you guys.
Yeah.
Chewy. Did you hear that dog bark in the background?
Oh yeah.
That's the girls. That's the girls.
At least I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the Chihuahua has 2 modes: sleeping and angry. But she's not actually angry. She just appears to be. There is an overdrive, though, when she sounds like a 6-year-old being, like, sawed to death. That's not it. She will literally howl like a little kid who's in pain.
They're
and
playing.
Our neighbors, they learn. They're playing.
Yeah, they are playing.
Are both the cats out?
Yes. Yes.
Get her.
So let's talk a little bit about Darkness Dies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's do that.
Anna read further developments of the last chapter.
And?
Well, I can tell you guys. What can I tell them, honey? Blade is in the house. Hail, Blade Levitch. So
hey,
the whole point of this ending, the Titans of Justice, who have been being told the story of the Cardinals, are actually involved in the last chapter. And we've gone through the first stage of their entry into the underground facility where Neo, the boy Cardinal, is being held. And their mission is ultimately to save him in a very small pocket of time for very specific reasons. Daywalker indeed, Tim.
Yeah, the blade thing is like Daywalker.
Well, he was named Jace Blade, Jace after Jason the Wheeled Warriors, which was one of the greatest sleeper American anime things in America at the time of my growing up.
Yeah.
And Blade, of course, was Blade the Vampire Killer. So he was named literally Jace Blade. And I was so proud. I was like, he's got the coolest first middle name combination in the world if he wants to become a rock
So
star.
this is like what DC would have done with the Justice League. That you're doing. You're starting off with a Cardinal, and then it's going to go in another solo Titans of Justice movie. Who's next?
Well, the funny thing is, okay, because of the flexibility I have in the way that I create, it's almost becoming an adventure to see how big it can get before it ends. Like you can't have the climax be midway or 3/4 of the way in the book. So the things that I did coming up to this were pretty cool, and they had some really neat twists to them. But that can't be the climax. So in the final chapter, I'm able to look at it and literally, like, I've sent out little clips of art that I'm not sure about. And then, like, for instance, last night, I sent out to the guys a quick little pinch of one of the panels. And then I sent out another one almost immediately because I saw how stupid Moonstar looked in the picture. And so I threw in a new pose and inked it up real quick. And I sent it back out. And then somebody mentioned that Captain Aura had some weird hips in it. So I had to go back and fix those. And it was just like, there are things where they still need a little tweaking. And that's, I don't know where I was going with that, but that's what I've been doing.
I get what you're doing. You're trying to, you're getting feedback while you're working on it.
Right. Right. But not too much.
I'm here, you guys. I just want you to know. And my dog Chewy just laid across my entire lap and keyboard, and I couldn't type or talk. You were so naughty. She's like, and she was licking my face. I'm like, oh my god! I was gone for 2 hours. I went to see How to Train Your Dragon with my daughter Larissa. Oh my god, it was so good.
Hey,
and I was so glad that they didn't do anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hang on a second. Jay started a family tradition. My grandson's middle name is Alucard. He also needed, I think he meant to write a vampire name. I don't know what the hammer is.
That's vampire name, yes.
I think it's like Dracula backwards.
Yes. And his first name, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it publicly, but it's also vampire related. Is that a proper way to say it? I don't want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
If Jay says it in chat, I'll say it if he says I can. But yeah, his whole name is very cool. In fact,
the half vampires. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this, but I think he might have outdone me. I know that I have a mother. My name is Christopher Wayne. It's like, oh, that's very traditional. Wow. But back then, when they named kids like us, they named us after, like, you know, grandfathers and uncles and other people.
Well, I got my grandmother's middle name. So it's
there's a middle name.
No, middle. Timothy Lee Olson.
Oh, nice.
So if you're talking, if I didn't use my last name and I shortened my first name to Tim, it'd be Tim Lee.
Yay! Yes. So Dante Alucard, and this is going to be impossible. How is he going to hate Devil May Cry? I have to.
Devil May Cry is fun to play.
And I bragged about him today. I was talking to a teacher that no longer works where I work, who understands children. And I told her about my almost 3-year-old grandson who is controlling 3D environments with a PS5 controller. And I said, he's not just like goofing. He knows what he's doing. He can do actual things. And, you know, she was excited. I recognize he does some reading, but I think it's sight. Like he can recognize for sure. Hey Diana,
Yeah.
can you mute when you type?
Yes, I can. I forgot this time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I
It
went
wouldn't be
Snort,
so bad
snort.
if you like with the rhythm, but it's like click, 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 click.
Yeah, try to do it with some rhythm. You know, like
You
I'll
could do
try
like
to make it more
background drum.
musical. Oh my
click,
god,
click,
you guys are
click, click.
killing me.
Type, type,
I
type,
didn't
type.
realize it was that
Click,
bad.
click,
The
click,
girls,
click,
I think, are
type,
settling
click,
down. The
type,
dogs are now
click,
settling
click.
down, so this is good.
Yeah, so it's time to
can pay
start
attention.
typing.
Yeah. Well, I'm laughing the way you pronounced his middle name, Alucard. It's Alucard. It's
Alucard.
not. It's Alucard. It's very funny.
Well, if it makes you feel better, Chris, when I was little growing up, I couldn't say Alleluia. I don't think I still can say it correctly.
Well, there are some words I
Fancy
couldn't
English.
say, but it was because they were like my mom would literally slap my mouth. They were naughty words. You ever
Those
had?
are
Did you ever get your mouth washed out with soap? I did.
Maybe. I did get smacked in the face a few times.
Hot sauce.
I remember. Oh, hot
Hot
sauce. I
sauce.
never. We no. My mom wouldn't waste hot sauce. That's expensive. But she could
Oh.
always take a bar of soap and do a couple of swabs.
Ugh, no hot
I think
sauce.
a few times she picked me up by the arm and swatted me on the butt when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
My mom was just very different. God
Yeah.
bless her, though. I am very proud of who she ended up being, and I think that she dances with the
Yeah.
Lord.
Amen.
So I don't mean to
Amen.
speak disparagingly. Disparagingly?
No. Yeah. No, you're good.
yeah, that's what.
You're good.
I don't know if I'm good, but I'm doing. I'm very excited about the book, though. I have
Yes.
to tell you.
I'm excited, more excited for you to end the darn thing so we can finish
yes,
the
I know
story.
she's
Like we're so
a
close.
person.
You know, I've given people, there's been a few people that talk about like they can't afford to make a book or now or something. I said, well, why don't you just make an ash can, a series of ash cans, and then you put the together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do after Melvin 4 is finished. There's going to be a trade paperback eventually. I'm going to do a series of ash cans. Like Melvin 5 pieces of Melvin 5 are going to come out in these ash cans, and I just put it together.
Right.
And then you got Melvin 5.
Mm.
And
I want to do. I want to do it like I want it to be like Reader's Digest size, and I want it to be
Yeah.
what do you call that when it's a series of different stories, anthology thing.
yeah,
It's going to be like a promotional item to promote the other 5, 6 books.
well, it's interesting you mentioned the Reader's Digest size because I was looking at what they're carrying, what manga prints at in their little digest books that pop up in public schools and in libraries and all over the kids' world. Without a doubt, there's still a market, but that market is the old comic book market, and they're not buying comic books. And part of that is our comic books are mammoth in size compared to these digests that they throw in their pockets.
Mm.
The problem is it's a world unknown to me. Now, you might just say, well, just print on the smaller pages. Yeah, but you've got to compensate. You can't get your type too small. There's a lot of things to it. And frankly, it takes a little time to adjust to that. Like, I can't finish Cyclopian in anything but the size that I started it with, and as far as the 12 issue story arc. But with issue 13, I could look at some different ways of doing it, and may very well do so. Not because I want to alienate comic book buyers, but because I'm trying to get a crowd that's not looking for comics. I'm trying to get a fresh market. I mean, come on, guys. Every circle we know, it's every month there's somebody who's either not going to fulfill, or is complaining that they didn't make enough money, or is being mocked by by the kings that be. And it's like, come on, man. Let there be peace. Let's make comics.
Right. I mean, I can't even promote fully on X anymore without seeing something that just annoys the hell out of me. So that's why I always try to get all the stuff. Like I go to Instagram and I post on Instagram and it shows up on my Facebook.
Well,
Right.
Lord knows, I really think I should change the password and then, or give my wife the password. She already has it. I should have her change the password and not give it to me and
Mm.
just promote on this channel and just be done with it because it
Yep.
it can really emotionally
You
throw me.
talk about it. You talk about it all the time, honey, but I don't want you to like feel like I'm holding it over you, and then all of a sudden you're sneaking around, adding another damn
You know,
thing. I'm
account,
like,
fake account I've made because I don't want my
yeah,
wife to know. Yeah, no,
yeah, that kind of stuff. I don't want you to do that.
She was
but like
sneaking around on X.
it really is just a waste of time. Like in the last 2 years, all the CG junk has amounted to all the CG junk. Like
Right.
there's been no shining moment where uh, I don't know,
Mhm.
IGG took action or banks stepped in and started defunding or something big happened. There's been no
Mm.
um uh there's been no climax of justice. It's been nothing but if you're looking at it long term, the sales have gone down, the reputation is tanked. It's gone down in that sense. But like,
The audience is shrinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
so is the circle of creators willing to embrace it. And a
Hmm.
lot of the ones who remain, I'm sorry, they're not everybody is Shane Davis or Ethan Van Sciver or even John Malin, who I think we could reliably say are supposed to be some of the best in CG. Dale Keown, and a few
What does
others
he do? What does he do though?
who
Dale, he doesn't really do much of anything.
no, he does covers and he does small things for, I guess, for Mandy
Oh,
Summers.
it's just
But I have to tell you, when we mention the name Dale Keown, I do so with high reverence because, okay, I'm
Pit.
not a fanboy, but I love Dale Keown's his physiques, the way he draws muscles, his cross hatching, his physiology is just bon appetit. He's a fantastic artist. Like I guess in a sense, I would say he's the best artist in CG, but I
He's
don't
a
want to get.
shell of a human being. He's a shell of his former self, though.
Oh, definitely. But in his prime, like people gush about the others. I'm like, oh come on. If Dale had kept his nose clean and done with Pitt what he could have, ooh.
How did he fall off so bad?
But I do know what I've seen since he came back in the scene, and some of it's just been kind of you look and you go, well, okay, I see where you dropped off. But on the other hand, I also look at the power of his art, and I understand the opportunities that are thrown at him. Because he is that good. Like if I had 10,000 to offer Dale Keown to do a cover for me, Diana would have to talk me out of it because I'd be like, "Oh, can I get him on the phone? Would he really talk to me?" Not even because I know that alone would sell the book, just because he's in that. Like, I'm really critical about who I love for art, and he's in the top probably 20, and that may not
yeah.
sound, but that's hugely high.
Hmm.
Like the people in my top 20, and he may even be top 10. I'd have to go through, but I know he's not top 5. But from there, it's kind of fluid.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to save up 8,000 and try to approach Rob Liefeld for a cover again. One day.
That would be your teenage like closet dream, like all your life. That's been like your
The
love of
circle is complete.
X4. She'd be like, oh, you'd probably have to like restart Melvin with a volume 2 just oh man, you'd be crazy. Maybe you'd use that cover over and over and over again. What's up, Blue?
It'd be the red cover.
Oh, look at this name. Luminate. I love that. Like illuminate, but luminate.
Lumen.
Read it. Read it out loud. Lumen and what?
Lumen 8.
Lumen dash 8.
Luminate.
Hi. Luminate.
That's a cool name.
That's cool. That is cool.
I don't know if we can. I don't know, man.
We are good. We're doing good, actually.
See that?
And I'm trying to
rhythm.
I'm going to type, so watch.
No, honey, it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2.
All right. All right. Anyways, welcome to this crazy chat.
Greetings,
discussing anything from comic to movies to whatever the guys bring up, and I'm here to.
We did do like 1 minute of God talk, but we got off of it pretty quick.
Right, promoting our books, promoting others' books, right?
Yeah, we're trying to be almost a distraction from the rest of the world. We know that World War III is looming over our shoulders as we speak, but who really, there's 1,000 channels right now talking about all that stuff. So,
is it really?
Oh, sure. I mean, I guess
baby.
If one country shoots a nuke, then I guess they're all and we're all gonna taste the fire. But
I don't know.
Honestly,
I went and saw a really cute movie, and Chris watched.
Why don't you tell us about that? I did shush you up when you wanted to go off on it.
That's all right.
What movie was it? Did you go see the Fantastic Four?
No, I went to go see How to Train Your Dragon. And honestly, it was really, really cute. They kept it very close to the original. Not really any changes. My daughter brought me, so it was really nice. And she was able to you know what? They did a really good job with this. So it was fun. It was a cute movie. If you've seen the original and you feel like you want to see a live action of it, I can honestly say that they did a great job. So, yeah. That's it. That's all I got to say.
That's the website. I just opened it up. I don't know what I'm doing.
Where'd you open
it? Cool. The 3D.
Yeah, Lumen, they really didn't change much. My daughter, who's really into movies and stuff like that, the only thing she noted was that the CGI, the dragons and stuff, they weren't as rounded as the animated ones, whichever that means. But I thought the dragons looked really, really good, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Let's see.
So, as a boomer, you enjoyed it.
As a boomer, I loved it. Yeah. Honest engine.
But our millennial daughter had questions about the dragon itself.
No, she didn't really have questions. She liked it. She just was making note. That was the only thing that she noticed.
That didn't feel accurate to her.
Right.
Okay. That could be cool though.
Mm-hmm.
I heard something crazy in public the other day. So I'm looking through the store. It's got collectibles and vinyl records and whatever, comic books.
Right.
And they're playing Cats. Well, not the original version. They're playing the Ugly Kid Joe cover of Cats in the Cradle.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear some kid go, "Oh, this is not this song's slow, but it's just not appropriate for today." In my head, I'm like, it's a song about a dad who doesn't have time for his kid, and then his kid grows up, and then he has all the time in the world, and now his kid has no time for him. It's supposed to be ironic and sad at the same time.
Well, I can tell you there is a disconnect, and I guess, let's face it, Tim, maybe when we were 15 and 16, the guys that were 40 and 50 were looking at us going, "You fucking kids are crazy." But they don't understand things that we take as natural, maybe they don't get it.
Subject matter, I don't know. I understand how it's inappropriate though.
Well, maybe they know that 2/3 of their friends don't have a father or something weird,
something stupid.
The nuclear family has been so nuked that it's almost uncommon to have a couple together that are both the father and mother of the same kids. Mixed families are hard enough to find, but families that are all the children belong to the same people, they're more rare now than they've ever been. Well, not ever. I don't know about ever, but in modern times, in modern America, when I was growing up, my mom was a single mom, and we were always the odd family in the neighborhood.
Right.
Everybody else had mom and dad. Some of them were divorced and remarried, so there was some of that happening. But it wasn't like today, where whole apartment complexes are full of single moms. God bless them all. I'm not judging anybody, but the society has definitely changed.
Hmm.
No, I just think it's even then. I just like, okay, so what lyrically is a song inappropriate? Tell me, enlighten me.
That would be the only thing I could think is they don't understand it and they think, oh, like if we played this at a party, everybody would start crying and it wouldn't be appropriate. There's a lot of softness in the kids these days.
That's supposed to be a sad song.
You can't cry, Tim. I mean, Bambi is offensive to a lot of them.
Well, then that's retarded.
I wouldn't go so far. I would say that's way oversensitive, and on their behalf. And the real world is liable to crush you if you think Barbie is too hard for you. And I feel bad when people do that. Like one of the things in the comic club that has been so funny. We've done it now. I've done it for 3 years. Diana's done it for 2. Is the look on their faces when one of them will get offended about a comic that someone else is doing, and I say, it's okay. They're not crossing the censorship guidelines. They're not drawing guns. There's no blood and no nudity. They're just being silly. And they can be silly. It's a comic book. And they go back to their table, and then they start opening up and having fun themselves. But at first, they all kind of lean towards, like I drew a hand. I'll show you. Let me turn on the camera. I drew a hand, and I think it was Cyclopian waving. And the way I had the finger, see how like that my hand kind of separates?
Yeah.
They thought that I had the middle finger too separated from everything, and they thought he was shooting the finger. Like I had like 15 kids yelling at me that Cyclopian was shooting them the finger. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, and that's really bad. You can't do that. And I'm like, okay, we need to stop.
I would have said, was he flipping off himself?
Well, no, he would have been flipping off the whole crowd, but it would have been weird because if you're flipping off, number one, these fingers have to be down. And number two, your hand is usually faced up.
Yeah. You could have educated them on the history of the bird. No. So okay.
Have you heard the history of the F word?
No, well, yeah, it means it's German for to strike or to anyway. So it's clickety clackety. Yes, jab. Anyway, when it actually started between the war between France and England, and when they would capture English archers, they'd chop off the the fingers that you'd use to pull back the bow, the string. So to taunt the French, they'd show that they still have their 2 fingers by flashing it at them. And I don't know how it became just the middle digit though. That's when it came to the U.S. I don't know.
Wow, humans were and can be very barbaric at times. Man,
well, I mean, they can't use their left hand because you're taught not to use your left hand. So if they cut off the fingers to the right, they can't pull back. They can't go up. If they escape, they can't go.
It disarms you as far as your skill as an archer. You're done.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, brutal.
Hey, you want to hear where y'all came from?
Yeah, where'd y'all come from?
So Old English used to have a plural version of you. So it used to be in England, it was the all. And then when it got to Scotland, it became ye all. And when it got to South in America, then they shortened it to y'all.
And then ignorant northeastern people like me went, y'all is YA-ALL. Y'all, you all, y'all.
Yes, but that's the origin of where that came from.
That's funny. It's okay. For a long time, I thought Muhammad Ali, I thought that was like an original name, like Superman is an original name. And I thought other people were naming themselves after him, and I didn't understand Islam at all because I was like, but Muhammad is a boxer in the 50s. It took me a long time to put that together because I was slow.
Why didn't this Muhammad Ali guy ever take out Cassius Clay?
Well, he did, didn't he? He beat him. He died. He went away. Cassius Clay was his name before he took on Muhammad Ali, right?
I know that's the joke.
No, I'm checking because I'm still a little shady on it all. But it wasn't like this was yesterday. This is when I was a teenager, and I really had no clue. And I was like, but Muhammad Ali, he just fought Superman. I remember that book.
I can't even figure out what did I find offensive when I was younger. I don't think I found anything offensive.
Oh, come on. I can find stuff like what year, what year was it when you were 10 years old?
Let's see. Hold on. I got to think. 89.
Ooh, that's a vintage year. So let's see. What? You know what comes up when I type in 1989? It's all about Taylor Swift's album. What the heck? She took over the whole year? Are you crapping me? Wow. All right, hang on.
Put the year 1989.
And it comes up with Taylor Swift's 1989 album. Oh, you were born. No, so.
I was born 1979.
Wow, there wasn't crap that year.
Mount St. Helens erupted the year after I was born.
That was a fun year. I remember that. So I'm about what, 8 to 10 years older than you. I'm 56.
I got a younger brother that's like 8 years younger than me.
But I remember Mount St. Helens. I remember something of a lunar launch, but it was one of the last ones in the early 70s, and
I can remember the Challenger exploding.
I remember that. Yeah. That was nasty. Although now,
maybe when I graduated, I found it offensive that they blame video games and music for the doing of what other people do. I still find that offensive. Actually, it's stupid.
I was torn back and forth. I bought some of the Hysteria. I believed that there were Satanists out there messing with kids, and I kind of still do. If you look at what we've learned through investigations, P. Diddy, Epstein, those people were real. They just were not exactly what we were told. We were warned about caricatures of who those people ended up being. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, P. Diddy is a son of his father was a lieutenant for a drug cartel.
I did not know that.
And he was absent, but he obviously was trying to take up after his father and run a business like a criminal empire, and he got caught up on all the with all the illegal shit, and then he became just a corrupt human being because no one starts off that way.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Diana and I were talking about the way people are born and how I was watching a protest, and they had said, you're born exactly how God wanted you to be born. Everybody's born the way he intended, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of got to thinking, I'm like, if we're all born into sin, then we are not born perfectly. We aren't made perfectly. We're born into sin. And flesh.
Is that what one of the protesters said?
yeah, they were like they were talking about the way people think they're born and the way that they are born versus how they the two sides of the argument, of was I born in the wrong body or the right body? uh God doesn't make mistakes, but the thing is, the born into sin part is usually forgotten. So
Yeah.
we're
Well,
born into our hardships. Like if I was to follow my every instinct, how bad would I be? Like I'm a trained person. I know not to steal food off my brother's plate, for instance, because he'd probably slap the shit out of me. Um, you learn these things as you grow older.
I kind of
But
almost feel like if that person said that to me, I'd say, "So, you're saying Hitler was born the way he was supposed to be?"
yeah, I guess. But the thing is, he didn't overcome whatever it was. God, don't get me started on that guy.
How did we get there?
I don't know.
Hello, Elk.
I just
Well, it was all your fault because you stopped coming in and helping us.
Well, I was doing something and then I forgot that I was muted, so I was talking and nobody listened. So I figured I should probably check to see if I'm muted or not. Like these guys are just, I don't know what they're talking about.
She's
I have
out
no
there
idea.
thinking, I'm going to smack him. When he comes out
Anyways,
for a Coke, I'm going to beat his butt for ignoring me.
so we have
We
I'm
have
laughing at Father
Antioch.
of Melvin. I'm going to refer to Tim as that. Hello, this is Tim, Father of Melvin.
Well, I
That's
must tell
funny.
you
That's
guys.
good.
Let me give you
hello.
testimony about Tim, because Tim is the first independent comic book writer that I can say I'm a friend with. And that's not to offend any indie comic book writers, but I don't usually talk to them much, But Tim and I have talked for a long time. I've been a total butthead at times. Tim's always a perfect gentleman.
It happens.
But you know what I mean? Like, so he's very unique because usually I'm a art snob. I'm like, oh, it's an artist, but I understand. Tim works hard for his book. There are some writers I get aggravated about because like they'll brag about how much they're promoting, and I'm like, you wrote a script for a 20-page book and you've had all year to promote. I get it, but that's an advantage in a lot of ways, like that, and that's why it's good to have a team sometimes, because once you're done working, yeah, you can go promote, man. That is
I'm
awesome.
I'm the creator, writer, and I feel like in some cases kind of the director.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean, Sid's pretty good. I rarely have to correct him, but like the recent page, for instance, they're supposed, the last panel that these two ships are coming in and they're shooting at something, and I said, why don't you put the other like their ship in there? They probably want to see what they're shooting at,
Right.
Or something like continuity will be a little bit off, or like
I was about to say, it
it was
sounds like you're talking about continuity, though. It's not like
yeah.
my biggest fear is when I draw something and then I go back and I go, oh my God, that's hideous. I've got to redraw it. I don't know if it really was hideous, but sometimes, and you do that all on your own as well. Like the thing about having an artist, in some ways it sounds like an advantage, but in other ways it's you've got to have the right artist. If you got the wrong artist, it doesn't fit your style, doesn't fit your character, isn't good enough, because there's a lot of artists that just, you got to have your expectations. You got to look at what they've done and see if they're where you want to go. If you're out there, as a writer thinking about doing this.
I have no ego, but I'm full of delusion, Elk. In fact, maybe I should call a trade paperback "Use Your Delusions."
I'll be honest. I've been making indie comics now. I don't know, honey. How long's it been? About 8 years, 9 years?
It's been a while. Yep.
I think we started officially in 2017. I'd have to actually look. And you might say, well, how do you not remember that? Because we've done a lot of books. But ego is part of it, but it's not like I don't have an ego where I feel like I'm God's gift to anything. The only time my ego is a problem is when I feel like I've been just unfairly dissed. I don't mind criticism. I don't mind hearing things. I really don't mind because it does feed the notion that I can do better next time, which is something I look at everything like a stepping stone. So when I was drawing in 2017 and I look back at those books, I see some of the promise that keeps me going even today. And I see a lot of mistakes. And I just smile and I go, wow, that was cool that we actually did that. And now we worked our way.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I think Elk just helped me think of that. If I ever make a trade paperback for Zed and Odysseus, I'm gonna name it Zed and Odysseus. Use your delusions. Instead of use your illusions.
So Zed and
That's a lot.
Odysseus. I gotta figure out how to make a video for that thing because we haven't touched him or them. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I've really truly had a field collaboration. The one time that I tried to collaborate that went bad was the Trolls book, and that ended up becoming our own personal 100-page anthology.
I think I've had a few failed collabs. He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah.
And there was an artist before that, but it's because he only did 2 pages, and then he just kind of flaked off.
A fizzle. You have been blessed though with the guys that you have been able to go.
Oh
with.
yeah.
And it's so funny because people don't know what they're looking at until they know what they're looking at. So they'll see you post something, they'll be like, I bet you don't have anything. Well, actually, yeah. Here's my man. Oh yeah, he looks good because you know what? He can draw. He can draw. Yes, he can. Look at that portfolio. Baby.
Oh, it was the recent thing I said. I said, oh, here's something a CG King don't do. Post an update.
The whole thing over there is I think they exist in the wiggle room of terms of service and all that. But like if I just can't buy off of people like that. I just don't trust it. It's like if I went to a restaurant and they told me my meal might be out in 20 minutes, it might be 2 hours. Heck, you and your wife might just sit here drinking water all night because I don't even know if the waitress is coming back with your drinks. Maybe. Just hang in there. Give me some money.
You want to buy a steak dinner and wait 5 years for the steak dinner?
Pay $25 and I'll do an add-on. I'll add an additional hot potato if you give me $30 later. Because that's the other thing they do. They'll go and the deadline will be coming up and they'll go, wait, I'm adding 20 pages of content. You've got to give me time. I didn't want 20 more pages of content. I wanted the book that I ordered.
Save that for another book.
Yeah. Now, in the hypocritical form, I did say when we started this book, it shouldn't be more than 40 pages. And it's now ballooning up to, I think, easily 170. And I know there's more to come. But we didn't nail it down. I knew it could extend because this book is really just, it's an art form in the way that it's written itself. It goes at a proper pace with details when you need them and blurs out when you don't. So I'm very happy with how long it is. We're still within my margin of cost and everything's going to be all right. Hey, Elk says, I've thought about hiring an artist for a comic book, but so many artists want to get paid as every page is completed and then flake out after a few pages. Yeah, that is something Diana and I really haven't had to deal with. The one time that you could say
I did
an artist. Well, the one time we did, it was actually our daughter, and she was commissioned to draw Diana's script for Trolls Exposed. Beyond that, I've had 2 covers done by 2 other artists, and they were quite easy to get along with because I paid quite well one, and the other one wanted to do it voluntarily. So we did a good thing in both cases. Oh, Diana, I love those space bar hits. Can you do more of those?
Yes, I can.
The keys are a
Right
little hard,
now.
but those space bars
I
are
was trying to type softer.
well, it's SOF
Well,
TER. There's no space in it.
I'm sorry.
Dad humor, we've got tons of it.
I can't imagine her using a touch screen. She probably punches it right the heck in.
We wouldn't know because we got her an Apple keyboard. I
Yeah.
think. No, do you use the? No, you have right now. She's on a MacBook. So
Well,
there's
no. When I'm in the office and I'm at my desk, I plug my iPad. I plug my MacBook into the
a hub.
output that I have a biggest screen and a keyboard too. And I just close my
should go
laptop
get it
and use it
show
as
you
a
guys.
keyboard.
The keyboard is one of those aluminum Apple ones, and she hits it so hard that there's like a bow in the middle. She's bent the Apple aluminum.
Why do you hate keyboards so much? Why?
I don't think I'm doing.
I have such hatred for keyboards. You're like a
Well, what's
stupid
funny
keys.
is she'll get done typing and she'll complain how sore her hands are, and I'm like, have you looked at the tips of your fingers? They're bloodied. You've hit those keys so hard.
Oh my
I am
God,
teasing.
it's
She's
so
not
bad.
that bad. She's
Oh,
bad, but
no.
not that bad. I'm worse. I actually type harder.
I
than
know.
she does.
I forget to mute because it's on. So the way I have it set up, I have StreamYard open, I have YouTube open. So if I type in StreamYard, then I come up as Hero Shack. If I type in YouTube, it comes up as me. So I forget to go back and forth, and I don't know. I'm really tired though.
I am so glad that you are here, though,
Are you?
and you're invested in the conversation. So let me ask,
Oh.
while we have our panelists here tonight, Fantastic Four or Superman?
Superman. I want to go see Superman. You won't bellyache as much.
I'm
Uh,
not sure.
Okay, so my hope and prayer is that James Gunn once again, despite all the odds, despite all the feelings I'm having, I hope he's made a good movie. I gotta be honest, every movie he's made since Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought, no way, I'm not gonna like it. It's gonna be a piece of crap. And every single time I've thought that, it's been good to great. So I'm hoping he pulls that off again.
Honestly, I'm more interested in seeing the Naked Gun movie or possibly Spaceballs 2.
So Spaceball
That's
2
cool.
is years away, right? Or at least a year away.
I have no idea, but I guarantee, I bet anything it's going to be Mel Brooks' last movie.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. He's old.
Unless they put him out AI, which could be coming, folks.
Oh God, don't say
His
that.
his estate might just sell his personality, you know.
Surely they can pick a better personality. Just kidding.
Wait, that would be not right at all. That would be really, really wrong. And I would
Star Wars is
boycott films with AI characters that are deceased.
done. Well,
I-
Star
like,
Wars,
no.
Oh, there was a cartoon on YouTube where they're making fun
That's
of
what I was thinking of.
how mentally handicapped super Star Wars
outcast.
fans are, like hardcore
Yeah.
Star Wars fans are.
Like that.
And they pulled a hatch, and all this crap fell out of this hatch, and then Carrie Fisher's dead body fell out.
Oh,
That's the joke, is they're throwing all this crap at it, and a dead actress who
Oh.
played Leia.
I remember when I had a teenage crush on her.
Oh,
Everybody
there was
loves
that. There was that metal bikini.
We all. I'm sorry. It's like somebody in Hollywood, whether it was Lucas himself or some genius somewhere, went, "Okay, I know how we make this movie iconic." I don't even remember what the movie was about. I remember her though. I have to watch it again to remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, or stop and really think about it.
I just know that. Well, behind the scene fact is, she was raffling off the right for whoever, for one of the crew members to be able to have the right to rip the tape off because she
You're
did wear a bra.
Oh no. Well, I guess she did have a sense of humor in real life. So Hail to Outcast. Welcome aboard. We're just chilling tonight. If you haven't voted, tonight we're taking a poll to see if people like Country Melvin or Rodeo Melvin.
So pound the hell out of those keyboards.
If you haven't heard it, we could play it again. Because I actually
very funny
did a file that was different from the opening, so I could just like, okay, watch this.
Pew pew, a punch two.
And the biggest kick in space.
This.
All right, hang on. This one?
Try saying that fast 3 times. Here we go.
I ain't got no pickup or puppy dog. Just got my weapons and fatigues on. I got a crazy look and an amazing book. But don't scramble my eggs, Country Melvin. Don't shave my damn legs, Country Melvin. Don't get in the way, a Country Melvin. A pew pew and punch two, pew pew and punch two.
Okay, now this is Rodeo Melvin, and we're if you look at the YouTube chat, there's a poll you can vote in. So let's hear that one.
Hungry country, 'tis of thee. It's the badass of the galaxy. He's nothing special, so they say, till the tiger gets his day. Square dance and denim pants, Melvin is the rodeo. Last chance on the crazy bull, Melvin is the rodeo. A country punk with too much spunk, a city slick with a gigantic kick. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Melvin is the rodeo. Pew pew, punch two, and the biggest kick in space. Oh yeah.
And there you have Rodeo Melvin. So if you just heard that and you haven't voted, please jump in on the poll on YouTube. There are no consequences. We're just doing it for fun.
And as I said,
There's
if
no
anybody,
prizes. There's
if
no-
anybody
yeah.
has bought any of the books off Amazon, make sure to go back and leave a review, because it actually does, I think, help make the books more visible.
You know, I gotta say
Amazon?
something about that. I gotta say something
Yeah.
about that.
Okay, she gotta say something, y'all.
Book reviews. Do you know how hard it is to get a book review from anyone?
Yeah.
It's so hard. It really
I got
is.
one the other day on Melvin Zero. It was some dude in
Woohoo.
Japan. Yeah.
Yay, that's awesome. No, I mean, we have gotten some for the Great Cyclopian, but I don't know. I've
But we
written some for
also-
people.
When we did the interview with Eric and we talked a little bit about reviews, when you do get them, like in the author circles, they do swap books for reviews.
Mhm.
And he said the problem is reviews start becoming formulaic. Like, so
Yeah.
you'll start getting like 4 out of 5 stars, and they'll write something like a great read. You can't believe how good it is. And like, that's all they
Right.
put, you know, it's like, so they end up becoming almost like generic things. And that's kind of sometimes how I felt on the show. Like,
Mm,
for a while, I don't know how it is now, but it always felt like there were people going, that's so cool, that's awesome, no matter what you said, that sounds
Right.
great. Like,
yeah.
comes to hear somebody go, I'll be honest, man, the Cyclopian really isn't clicking with me. You know, whatever it is, I'm throwing my character under the bus there, but whatever the characters are, all too often it ended up sounding the same to me. Everybody was just, way to go, man, you're trying hard, I like this is good.
Yeah.
I'm a very
Yeah.
supportive guy, but if it's in a show format and you're
Yeah.
truly interviewing, it can become weird.
Yeah.
It can become weird. I'm not saying all shows are that way.
Mhm.
But I always seem to find the best for.
Right. Well, I mean, any review is a good review in my eyes.
Well,
That's
okay,
just
Miss
me.
Algorithm, you are awesome. Any view is good in my eyes too. So, like, click, and subscribe, my friends. We love.
Yeah, Goodreads is good too. Yeah.
I don't know what Goodreads is. I was going to avoid that. So somebody inform me here.
I don't know, but I want to go to bed because I'm tired. It's been a long day.
That's a cop out. You endorse it and then won't tell
But
me.
can you guys keep talking and enjoying the time together? That's
Well, it is
okay.
getting late. The thing is,
You don't have work tomorrow.
no,
Neither
but I
do
do have
I,
work
but-
tomorrow. I'm hoping to get
yeah.
like a page and a half done tomorrow.
Are you? Oh, thank God. Like,
What do
I'm
you mean,
like
I'll-
cracking on you guys. I want this book done. So the elf bought the books and he did it on. So you'll have to check out Goodreads, Tim. Go look at Goodreads and check your books out. You got comments there. And so thank you, Elk. I am
I
gonna sign
love your
off.
name, by the way, Elk. Don't know the meaning behind it, but I do love the name. And Outcast, if you're still out there, great to see you. If you guys see Rick, tell him we said hi. I hope he's fine.
Woohoo!
Probably is. He's a
Yeah.
very busy man. He's probably out there
Yes, he
partying.
is. Yeah.
I mean, tomorrow is
All right.
Juneteenth. I don't know if they celebrate that in Canada, but you never know.
Hmm. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Thank you for joining the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not subscribed. Please do so. We'd really appreciate it. And check out all these wonderful chats that we have. Very informative with everything under the sun. And me typing. Just come for my typing because I'll hurt your ears. And it won't be any kind of rhythm because that's just how I roll.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. That painful ear thump is available in replay. Come back tomorrow and listen again.
Ooh, that sounds good.
player and play it in your car. It's great for driving. Boom, 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 boom.
Tim, father of Melvin, as usual, is always a pleasure. But I am signing off, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. I will be officially on summer break. Woo, woo, woo. I'm so excited. So
Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.
See you later.
And Outcast, if you ever want to have videos played in the pre-show and just share the link, I'll play them in the mix. The pre-show will always be here, even though some people are like, why? Because I'm crazy. I like it. It makes me feel like a movie theater. All right, guys.
Go, hey, Herman. Poor Herman. That's what I keep saying. Get the book done for the love of God, please.
She
For
says
the
it
love
like
of Pete.
she makes it sound like I go to the casino.
Oh my gosh, no. This is a huge book. I have to read it so many times. I just want to do
make it
one.
sound like I'm
I don't
goofing off and
read.
doing like streams every night.
You're not. The problem is you take forever. So chop, chop. Let's get with it. Okay. God
Okay, when
bless you guys.
You guys,
Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm leaving now. Bye before I get in trouble.
And before I get in trouble, don't forget to check out Melvin and Hero Shack. And
Yep.
yeah, it's all good.
Coming at you.
All right, man.